I'm heading down memory lane to see if I can remember what I received for Christmas throughout the 1980s, at least what I can recall. I'm also going to cover some of the most wanted toys from the decade, as well as some of those great Christmas retail toy promotions. So let's crank up some tunage and get started. I'm sure you have some great Christmas memories of those wonderful toys you received as a kid. I recently got an itch to go down memory lane to try and rediscover what I got for Christmas throughout the 1980s. So I dug through old family photos and videos, and here's what I've cobbled together. It is incomplete, but this is what I've found. For Christmas 1981, probably my most memorable gift as a child, in fact, probably my most memorable Christmas gift of all time, would be this AT-AT. From Kenner, of course, from the Star Wars Empire Strikes Back line in 1981. It's in great shape, it's complete. It is missing one of the chin guns, so I've removed the other one just so it doesn't look goofy. But I often wonder if it's my most memorable just because I have video evidence of it.
What do you think, huh? You like that?
This was one of my favorite toys as a child. Obviously, I still have it. Fun fact, embarrassing fact, I used to sleep with this thing like it was a teddy bear. Now, my parents would take it away after I fell asleep just so I wouldn't hurt myself. But truly, this is one of my most beloved toys and Christmas gifts of all time. From 1983, my Christmas gifts included this Alvin plush from Alvin and the Chipmunks. I also recall receiving Zor from Masters of the Universe. Now, this isn't my original Zor. I did replace him some years back. Also, I don't know if you guys remember Chain Lightning. It was kind of a precursor to Domino Rally. It was some little bitty dominoes, different colors. They could use patterns to set up and then knock down, had bridges and obstacles. Very cool. I remember spending hours and hours with that, playing with that, not only myself, but with my sister and my cousins. Now, I don't know if I still own that. It may still exist in my parents' attic. I'll have to check for that, but very cool. The other items I remember receiving was Jabba's playset, which I still do have. And fun fact, I would love to have the box again. A few years back, there's a picture of me I'll show here of me and my sister when I received it from Christmas in 1983. And then her and I recreated that at a toy store not too long ago, a couple years ago. But yeah, I still need that box. But then the big gift for me from that year was the Ewok Village. I still do own that. It's in very good shape. I think I'm maybe missing just one little piece from that. But fun, fantastic items from that year. For Christmas 1984, my sister and I were a year late to the Cabbage Patch Kids adoption party, but 1984 was our year. We received our first Cabbage Patch Kids. I remember my first one was named Ramsey, which I know I've got. I've misplaced him somewhere. But besides the Cabbage Patch Kids, you guys may remember the Cabbage Patch Kids Koosas. Those came out, I believe, for 1984. I received mine, and I believe you could mail away to name these. And I see I've still got the tag here. His name is Stripes. Other big gifts for me that year was the Lego King's Castle. That one was another one of my favorites from childhood. It proudly displayed around my parents' house for years and years after that Christmas. And even some of those gray blocks I remember did fade because they got a little bit too much sun damage. But I've still got that. It's not assembled at the moment. And then last but not least, one of the big gifts I remember from that year was the Erector set that was featuring RoboForce's Max Steel. I still do own that. Again, unassembled. It does exist currently in my parents' attic. For 1985, I didn't come across a lot of photo evidence from that Christmas. But the one item I did find, he's in nearly every photo I could find from that year, was Voltron, the diecast version from Matchbox. Loved this toy as a kid. As you can see, he's still in pretty good shape. He's missing his original accessories, and one of the wings there is busted off and gone. But I've had him ever since. He proudly displays in my collection to this day. For 1986 Christmas gifts, if you guys recall the first skins, I received J. Livingston Clayton. His nickname was Scout. These were also created by Xavier Roberts, who also created the Cabbage Patch Kids. And I also remember receiving this Cobra Knight Raven. This is still my original one from childhood. It's complete, nothing's broken, it's in great shape. For Christmas 1987, I received a Noid. If you guys remember the Noid from Domino's Pizza. I don't have that Noid figure anymore, but I do have the other big gift I received that year, which was talking Pee Wee Herman. This is a great item, but unfortunately Pee Wee doesn't work as well as he once did. As for the top 1980s Christmas toys by year, I began my research by looking at search engine results. But unfortunately, I think those results were skewed by inaccurate blog posts and news articles. For example, some said a top toy that year, it didn't match that year, as in they may have came out in a future year. I just couldn't trust them. So I went down a rabbit hole of looking at local news reports from the decade, where they interviewed toy industry experts, store employees, Christmas shoppers, and of course kids saying what they wanted for Christmas that year. So here's the list I've put together by year. Let's check them out. For 1980, Rubik's Cube, of course Kenner Star Wars, electronic games, Atari, and Intellivision. For 1981, again, electronic games and Star Wars toys, the introduction of Pac-Man and Dukes of Hazzard toys. For 1982, G.I. Joe, A Real American Hero, Masters of the Universe, and My Little Pony. For 1983, this was the craze of the Cabbage Patch Kids, Glowworm, Care Bears, Return of the Jedi toys, and I think Ewok Village, which I received that year, was another big item. For 1984, Transformers and Rainbow Bright. For 1985, Teddy Ruxpin was introduced, as well as the Nintendo Entertainment System, aka the NES, and the Behemoth, the USS Flag. Although I don't think many kids received that for Christmas that year, but it was probably on a lot of Christmas lists. For 1986, Laser Tag. For 1987, again, the Nintendo Entertainment System, Zap It, Captain Power, Scooters, G.I. Joe made the list again, and RC Cars. For 1988, again topping the list, Nintendo Entertainment System, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles were released, Micro Machines, and to round out the decade for 1989, the Nintendo Game Boy, Batman, the movie was huge that year, and the Sega Genesis. I want to highlight a few of the great Christmas toy retail promotions from the 1980s. First up, from 1987, offered through Burger King, was Rodney and Friends.
Look, what do your wondering eyes now appear? Only at Burger King. It's cuddly reindeer. There's Rodney, Ramona, Rhonda, and Randy. At $1.99 each, the price is just dandy. Get a deer with your Whopper. Order one with your shake. Collect all four now. What presents they'll make. And for each reindeer you buy, Burger King will make a donation to Project Care and other local charities. Just look for your neighborhood Burger King sign for a merrier Christmas and the best food for fast times.
If you guys remember these, this is Rodney, Rhonda, Randy, and last but not least, Ramona. Now, these were described as the twins, Randy and Ramona, and Uncle Rodney, and I assume Aunt Rhonda. I've had these since 1987 from childhood. And also from 1987, Kmart introduced Our Christmas Bear. I know we had it as a kid. I believe my mom may still have it as part of her Christmas decor. Then I believe they also had a 1988 version. I'm not sure how far that bear lasted, but at least those 2 years. 3 Hardee's Christmas promotions included 1984's A Disney Christmas that featured Mickey, Minnie, Goofy, Donald, and Uncle Scrooge. In 1985, classic Disney characters included Bambi, Dumbo, Lady, Pinocchio, and a 101 Dalmatians puppy. In 1986, Pound Puppies that offered 4 different puppies. And from 1988, McDonald's featured the Holiday Huggables featuring the Muppet Babies.
Now you can get holiday huggable Muppet Babies at McDonald's. There's Baby Kermit, Baby Fozzie, or Baby Piggy. Soft and huggable and yours for a special price with any McDonald's food purchase.
Good night, Baby Piggy.
Holiday huggable Muppet Babies. You can collect all 3.
Baby Kermit, which I did have him as a child. Baby Fozzie Bear, I did also have him. And last but not least, Baby Miss Piggy. I just recently required all of these, but these were the 3 that were featured as part of that promotion. And last but not least, the Hess Truck, which I know wasn't available in my area, but it's been around for decades. I do have a link to the Hess Truck of the 1980s releases in this video's description. What are some of your fondest Christmas memories? What did you receive for Christmas in the 1980s? Or if you're older or younger, what did you receive for childhood? What are some of those most memorable gifts? Please share in the comments because I truly would like to hear your Christmas stories. Did any of you happen to get the USS Flag yet? I'm still awaiting mine. Merry Christmas, and until our next venture.